the comfort of their own living rooms, covering the latest and greatest news in ARK and the wider survival community, presented by Raasclark and Jade PG, the Survival Evolved Show! Yeah, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome back! It's a Survival Evolved show with me and Mr. Jade PG. We're back again. How you doing, mate?
Hello.
Hello, chat. For those that are new to this, it's been a hot minute again. It's meant to be a regular show, but you know we've been busy bees. And obviously,
there was nothing to talk about. Let's get it right.
Talk about.
We've exhausted every opportunity to surprise and suppose what Ark II may be. Never in a million years did you think we got the bounty of what we're going to talk about today.
I actually, our last one was covering UE5 and how good it was going to be. So it's going to be quite funny, interesting how this conversation is going to develop. Because people, I'm sure you out there in the chat will know by now, me and Jade are very opposite poles of this argument. So could this make and break us? Could this be the end of Raasclark and Jade PG?
It could be.
One for, one against. What's going to happen? It's going to be very interesting. A very interesting debate indeed. We're going to take questions from you towards the end, so don't worry about that, people. Jade's also going to be streaming this on his channel as well, because obviously he's got a audience over there that want to probably tune into this as well. So, Jade, are you ready? You're live?
I am. Sorry. I was just debating whether or not I was live or not yet.
Sweet.
I think I'm alive.
To kick things off, I guess, I did a top 5 reasons as to why people should look forward to Ark Survival Ascended the weekend. And my God, I got ripped apart.
I saw.
Ripped apart. Dude, it's my most disliked video ever. Like,
go on, be honest. Now I'll tell you what, the worst I've had with Ark.
Yeah.
It was about 69%. That's the worst I've had.
Oh, okay, it's not that bad. But it's I think it was like 87, I think that's the checked.
Oh fucking hell. 87.
But
81, 82.
Mate, with so many comments saying, you know, how much did Wildcard pay you? You're on Wildcard's payroll and stuff like that.
He is in one.
Well, there we go.
We'll get to that. No, I'll stick to the itinerary before I start talking shit. But go on.
Do you not see Wildcard's gun to my head there? Just there to the side?
Yeah.
I'm joking. Listen, I've raised issues in the past with the previous videos. I just thought, let's celebrate everything that it could do, that it's good for. So that's why I did that video. But my word, that epitomizes the community's feedback and mood on this Unreal 5
you were probably
port.
just a bit early, mate. You were probably just a bit
Perhaps
early.
a touch early.
Another couple weeks, I would have said that would have done good. The only thing I can say is slight on that is the tone of something like that is always good to look at the positives. It is because there are, like, despite what angry Gamer is going to say, there is going to be a bunch of people that got no problem paying over money, glad to see the remaster come in, whatever the weather. Like, you are hitting obviously some people with that, you are, and it's affecting. And it's the noisy, angry rabble that are coming out. That said, though, it is, it's really just. It's one of them things where you've got to get that balance right, and I think it wasn't ready yet, and we just don't know enough. I think if we'd seen a trailer, people could take your point.
Yeah, 100%, and that
any gameplay at all.
Totally
just
agree.
Going off a list of promises.
Totally agree.
In fact, that has never done well.
In fact, I'm sure the devs literally responded to that I put in a video saying these are only words. And they said in their post, these are only words. Because, you can say as much as you want and promise as much as you want until we see anything tangible. There's nothing to really reference. And, it's... But there's a lot of promise. And I guess it was me trying to, look on the bright side, as I always do. And, I definitely saw the feedback there. But I guess, what is that feedback? Why are people...
well, so just in case you don't know, if you're fairly new to ARK, or maybe you're just
fair point. What is it? What is ARK? Yeah, go on.
Effectively, Wildcard have said that Ark 2's delayed, and because it's going to be delayed until the end of next year, they've got a bit more time, or they've decided that they want to keep the original game going in some way. So they've created this remaster.
Yeah,
remaster is going to be redone in Unreal Engine 5, loads of bells and whistles improvements, stated a whole big massive list of it. Problem is though, and they're also going to pack the DLC in with it now. So I'm not going to go on too much about the original statement, but we'll just go by what it is now.
Yeah.
The DLC is packed in with it, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maps of DLC paid content added in, plus all the free ones will eventually arrive. So there's potential there to like 12, 13. Is it 12 or 13 maps now in Ark?
1, 2.
Was it 11?
1, 2, 3.
You work that one out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And they're bringing
6,
mods to console
7,
as well
8, 9,
as part
10,
of this
11,
remaster.
12. Yeah,
so
12.
they're packaging it all for $60.
Yeah.
It go Xbox, PlayStation, obviously only for the next gen consoles or the current gen consoles. You want to be looking at it that way. So to some people, it's a great idea. It means they'll get the game they've always wanted to keep playing, but in a nice looking way. New features, new mods, brand new version of it, brand new gameplay, cheating fixed, and certain things fixed that have been problems over the years.
Yeah,
that's the real positive. In fact, we should do. Yeah, now you give me the negative. I've just done your job on the positive. You give me.
You went straight in with the positives. I mean, negatively, we just addressed already there that there's nothing to reference there. We've got nothing to go on. Obviously, the biggest outcry is the price. As a lot of people already know, Jeremy back at the start of the year said that this Unreal 5 upgrade was going to be free, going to be a free upgrade at the time, and they explain this later on. That was based on them updating the Switch version. They then decided, no, we're going to redo Ark Survival Ascended from seemingly scratch to be as good as it can be for this Unreal 5, and now it's going to be a paid-for version. And old gen players, that's it. It's game over. We're moving on to next gen, and as a result, servers are being carried to next gen as well. So official servers, as you know it, will cease to exist at the end of August. Those are probably the two biggest issues with what's going on right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, face value. Yeah, face value for sure.
Yeah.
And I remember me telling you, I think we said it in the Survival show last year. When is Wildcards going to let Ark die? Like at some point, there's got to be a gap between Ark and Ark 2. There's got to be.
Well, this is it. Before this year, we thought that was it. We was done with Ark. There was no more Ark 1 up until the start of this year. That was it. And then
now you're like, yes,
what's going on?
Game channel once more. I've got money. That's why Ras loves it. He's a one game simp.
Oh no, I know, man. Yeah, that's it.
No, he's not though. That's a lie though. Look at your small land stuff flying.
It's doing all right, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I get it. I do get it. But the argument of like abandoning old gen players, especially, I think, there comes a point. Surely, surely there comes a point where you have to say it's time to move on to next gen.
It does, but I think obviously we all know this. The way they did it was fucked.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was awful. Like,
and I acknowledge that. Yeah.
4 months you effectively got. And I know it might seem like a long time, but actually a lot of games, when they're going offline, I've seen a bunch of announcements recently, older games, they give a lot longer. They'll be like 9 months, a year, the servers will shut down. Like, I'm pretty sure Grand Theft Auto 4's servers went offline for Xbox 360 and stuff, and they had like a year's notice or some shit. Yeah. This is a game where, especially on official servers, people generally have spent thousands of hours. And it doesn't matter how low that population's got. If you've still got a few thousand people, and I think the estimate was about 8,000 to 9,000, probably more than that when you consider the consoles as well. I would say probably about 12, maybe half the PC amount. So about 12,000 people probably still play on officials on a daily basis. That's still a lot. That most survival games would love to have them numbers. And so that's a lot of people that put their heart and soul into a games company for 8 years nearly. Bought every DLC.
Yeah.
But they are getting shafted. They are. Like, there does come a time to kill your game, but Wildcard should still keep some servers up running until Ark 2 comes out, at least. But I think that's what I think would solve it.
The problem there, though, is like, what servers do they keep running then? Because you're still going to annoy some people, aren't you?
Well, I personally think get rid of anything that isn't official PvP or like normal or PvE. Yeah. Small tribes, anything like that, can them. I know they're popular, but the hardcore players that play them kinds, they're used to wipes. I'm pretty sure 6-man tribes wipes, don't it? Or it's a bit more fluid. It isn't as heavy with big alpha tribes and stuff like that. So just they'd be more inclined to play on a brand new version of the game and get it. I mean, I could be wrong on that. PvPers be like, no, fuck you, Jade. But even the PvEers, just condense it. They've done it over the last few years. The Great Migration.
Yeah, they did it with the first one. Yeah.
Even if it's the bare minimum, even if it's literally only 100 servers, at least you can then go, well, hey, we kept some servers up running for people that wanted to carry on playing.
Do you think it comes from a concern of that we're getting crossplay, of course, with this across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and as a result, the attendance is going to be could possibly be quite incredible that they need those servers? Or do you think that
because Wildcards have like cut their servers a lot over the years. Yeah. Like when we think the heyday. Sorry, everyone. I'm having a big cup of tea. Look at the size of this motherfucker.
That's a big one.
And it's coming up on me. It's definitely one of them things where they can invest the money if they want, and they've reduced it over the years. They've done the migrations. They've got rid of servers. They've shut down certain things. But yeah, they I can't believe it could. That's the biggest cost they've got. Like, would it really cost that much? Like, I'm pretty sure there was one tweet from Jeremy that said it was costing him something ridiculous, like 150,000 or 300,000, or maybe it was more than that, 800,000 a month in keeping servers up, or whatever it was at the time. And that's a lot of money. But then you look how much money they made last year. Snail Games, 75 million, 75 million, and the bulk of that is from ARK, not like other games that have done well. The majority of that is ARK. Even with losses coming off the back of Atlas and all the games industry is now coming down to this normal level after the pandemic boost. So there's lots of companies restructuring, laying off people. But fuck me, they also made a ton of money during lockdown. That's another thing people forget. Wildcard had one of its biggest caps in players ever playing during lockdown. They've made a lot of money in the last 3 years. So I just don't buy it that it's too expensive to run 1,000 servers or whatever it is.
Maybe that money's being poured into Ark 2's development, and
maybe something else.
Maybe. Is there?
Maybe something else.
And maybe it's as simple as that. Like Jade's onto something, but I was going to say maybe they're pouring those resources into Ark 2's development and realise that as some result they need that extra cash. Is it simply just a greedy move, or do they need that money to fund what they're working on?
Maybe. This is Doug Heads. This is the CEO of Wildcard. He owns part of Wildcard. He started it up. He published it and stuff. Got a brand new drinks company about to launch called Sly. No irony there.
I thought you said to be a link, Jade.
Oh yeah, I'm sending you a link. Sorry, yes, I was going to send you a link so you can show it off to people as well. Yeah.
This is something
come to my channel, everyone. Just unsubscribe from
There he is. They it's something I covered before actually. That one of the co-founders has started a drinks thing. Yeah.
Now I'm sure they've got many things. No, I'm taking a piss. You can have different businesses, and I'm sure they're not ciphering off ARK money into Sly. It's a joke before anyone sends their fucking lawyers after me. But no, I don't. The other thing is with ARK 2 and delays and stuff, how can they be running out of money, Raz? How? Like, how is that possible when they've made so much? It's the second biggest survival game.
Well, it brings us onto that other topic of the stocks being low. Has that got influence on what's going on? Snail Games, their publishers, have certainly dropped in stock price since the start of the year. And did that reflect this price at all? A lot of people are putting that argument out there, and a lot of people want Snail Games to go. But is it as simple as that? Like,
no, it's not. I know. So that's why I've not really focused. We've seen Hods. We're friends with Hods and stuff, and he took that angle, and I don't blame him. And I'm sure that a lot of the ARK devs, the actual Wildcard devs, feel that way too. But ultimately, it's just like Activision. Bobby Kotick's your CEO. What the fuck are you going to do? You can't really do much.
Well, yeah.
But that said, the way they communicate, I still feel like Wildcard have said they don't have Snail interfere that much. That's what they've said publicly in streams. I'm sure we've had Jeremy and Jesse on stream on Twitch saying they don't interfere. But
let's be honest as well, publishers, most of them are in it for the money anyway.
Yeah, that's what they care about.
All they want is to fund something to reap more money from it. That's just the nature of the game. I invest in you, I want a return. And that's what Snail wants. And regardless, I mean, I'm not defending them by a long shot, but I'm just saying, yeah, get rid of Snail, but who are you going to get in replacement? And why would that change?
Oh, it'd be great if it was Xbox. Snail, and then we hear so much and too much. Apparently, Snail are arseholes, and they want to put microtransactions with NFTs associated with them, and they want there to be tech drills and tech shields you need on official PvP that you'd have to spend 20 quid on and shit like that. So yes, Wildcard might have been doing us a solid, but it still doesn't. Look, Wildcard have got their own marketing team, their own PR team, and they are the fucking worst.
Or have they? Or have they? They're surely not.
Well, according to LinkedIn, they have. I'm not going to name names.
Right.
But they have got the worst job going. Like maybe, and again, it's probably not their fault because they get told this stuff by the higher ups, the people that matter, like the CEO and the creative directors and the founders. Ultimately, they're the people that make these decisions. So if they're not either getting fed what is good for the community or what community will buy properly, then people should really own up for that. And if they're still just going ahead with these stupid ideas and telling people to okay this stuff, then they deserve to get the flack. Like, I'm not one for hunting down devs. It's not a community manager's fault. Never fucking blame Said or anyone like that. They're there to deal with us as a whole. Yeah. But it's not to do them, these decisions or marketing or PR. That is all on the founders of Wildcards. And this is the biggest point. This is why I take exception with you fanboy.
Okay, mate.
When have they ever shown they're capable of fixing shit? Like you listing off everything that's going to improve this next version and be worth it. Yeah. But show me in the years. When was the last TLC update we had? Yeah. I'm going to tell you.
It was October. Hang on, let me guess. October 2020?
September 2020.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the last TLC.
Two and a half years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
Before that, no, I was surprised. I went back. TLC 1 came out in February. Yeah. TLC 2 came out in March. The same year.
Yeah, and then we got TLC 3, and then like a year later, and then that
2
was
years later.
Yeah, 2 years later.
TLC 3.
And then nothing after that. Obviously, we got the mini TLC with like the rock drake breeding, and then there was talks of getting more breeding in, but just I guess around this point they must have been already planning to go forward with Ark 2. And that was always the plan. And then at some point they've realised, oh damn, Unreal 5 is a bigger engine than they realised. It's still been updated today, like they released 5.2 a few weeks ago. And they've realised, I guess, that the scope of that project is a lot bigger. We need a lot more time on it. And no, they're putting that resources into it, but realizing Ark 1's out, what are we going to put in replacement between then and then? And on top of the news of people perhaps disgruntled regarding, mechanics of Ark 2 and what they're looking to promise for that third person, for example, that perhaps they do need to completely just remaster Ark 1.
It does all make sense. Yeah. I've got no problem really in essence with the remaster. I've got no problem with it at all. It's a good idea. We said about how they're going to kill off number 1 to get everyone to go play number 2. Well, why not have both? Why not focus all your resources on making Ark 2 more RPG or co-op focused? You and your buddies taking on dinosaurs together. Doesn't have to be big multiplayer servers like it was. Just keep regenerating Ark 1 and doing it and stuff. But Wildcard are not good at multitasking. The way they fucked up Extinction and Atlas when they were running at the same time. Yeah. And unless things have changed massively in the last 2 years, that's we can only ever go by history. This is why I don't like it when, again, you see people going, well, it's gonna be fixed in this. It's gonna do this in this. The history. Look at the history of updates we've had. Yeah. Majority of them have been broken and buggy. Yeah. Like they've never had any testing. They've never really done the test live servers like other companies do. For some fucking weird reason. Rust can do it. DayZ can do it. Conan Exiles does it. But Ark, no, fuck the players. They're our guinea pigs. It's history you got to go on. And it may have a good product. No one's disputing Ark's a good game. And they have done good over the years with making sure that game's got good content. for sure. I'll never argue that. But it's everything that comes with it.
Yeah, yeah. You can't deny like that Ark is a survival game. There's nothing. I don't like other games. Do really well, but in terms of the overall offerings of what Ark provides, I don't think does a survival game top that in the variety of sandbox.
Rust for a start. I mean, maybe not a variety of actual gameplay, but in terms of content, so that's the other thing as well. Separate what Ark is, because you can look at Ark and you can go, it's dinosaurs. People love dinosaurs. They were the first to do it.
It's a great,
Yeah, everyone's going to love dinosaurs, no matter what game it is. You know, look at Path of Titans. That is a dog shit game. It's a it's ridiculous walking dinosaur game that's got no action in it whatsoever. It's awful.
Yeah.
But people love it because they get to play as dinosaurs. So there is something inherently easy with dinosaurs.
Kids and dinosaurs. That's been fascination, and will always.
When you look at the amount of content that's come out on Ark, apart from free maps, there has not been enough level of attention given to TLC. When we look at games like Rust that do it on a monthly basis, they sell skins, but they do on a monthly basis give new content or really reimagine or re-examine stuff. Wildcards 2 years ago, that's the last major one they did. They've never been very good at it. It just, other games do it as well, and we could compare apples and oranges all day long.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, went down a road then we didn't need to go down, but
that's the point is that. But if this is going to be the case, if Ark II Remastered is going to be a proper live service game, then it's got to have proper updates every month or every 6 weeks. It can't just be bug fixes or balance changes. It has to be rejuvenating each time, making it better. And I just don't want to go through what I did with early access for a $60 game that maybe a lot of other games companies would have given away for free. It's blown my mind. But
But and Ark ASA is doing that. Is bringing new content. There's going to be new structures. Whether there's actual structured tiers is to be decided there. I guess creature TLCs is happening. We're going to get more breedable creatures. We're going to get new creatures. There's going to be one for every map. So there's content coming, and then there's obviously mods on top. The whole mod scenario that flips it on its head completely. That for the first time ever, Xbox and PlayStation are going to get to play as many mods as they want, as long as they're supported.
So some of that stuff, like I said, I can buy. I had no real issue with a remaster being even put on sale.
Yeah.
I some of that stuff you just can't do in older consoles. Also, shout out to David B for the $20 USD. Thank you very much, sir. It is just the way they do stuff. Like it's just such, and I don't go over it again, but people have to really understand. A lot of Ark fans are going to pay. A lot of Ark fans won't care, or they'll be feeling like they have to. But Wildcard should not have fucking said it should have been free.
No, yeah.
As soon as
they will regret that forever. Yeah.
Then you've got to do something decent with it. Like what they should do is everyone who's actually bought all maps, because a lot of people have only played it on Games Pass.
Yeah.
Or they've got the base game, maybe never bought the rest of the DLCs. I should make it, if you have got every single DLC in your library that you've bought, Season Pass, you get it for $30. And anyone else that doesn't, that's it. You pay $60.
Yeah. There's definitely.
I think that would be a fairer compromise than what they got, because I still don't think this newer version. So they changed the version beforehand. It was including Ark II. Yeah. I'm glad they separated that. Well, we're all in agreement. That's mostly okay. Well, that might. Some people are pissed that they're not getting Ark II.
You're damned if you do. But yeah, that was my argument originally. Was that once I've sampled everything that Unreal 5 has to offer with the Island and Scorched Earth or whatever maps come at launch, why would I pay to see the maps I've already played afterwards? If I've, and so they had to do that, definitely as a result.
I'm just changing volume again. People on my side, is my volume okay? Because I've changed it twice now. Now I'm getting other people complaining. So let me know, please, if it's good or bad. Yes, it's weird. So they've effectively said their DLC is worth $10 in a way, because that's how much they increased it by, right?
Yeah,
the base game was going to be originally $39.99.
Yeah,
$49.99.
But $39 on PlayStation and $49 on Xbox and PC. and then
with Ark
20
II, and then
for the
20
two
to $40
separate passes. Yeah, and then
but now the second announcement makes out that the DLC is only worth $20.
Yeah,
so you go by the PlayStation prices.
Yeah, so PlayStation got screwed.
PlayStation got screwed no matter what. Like, they were getting fucked anyway. Like, there was no way about it.
PlayStation players keep coming off. But look at it this way, again, up until this point, PlayStation players were really getting shafted, getting nothing. Ark 2 was never coming to them. They was getting no new Ark content, and that was it. It was gone. And now they're getting this. They are getting something.
It is, at least, look, some people, we have got to move on. But this argument I have for myself, right? I'm a big, massive fan for consoles. I'm a big fan of not just dumping behind the generation of consoles we've had. Because you look at the stats, only 37 million people have a PlayStation 5. 118 million PS4s are still out there.
Mate,
so not everyone's made the jump. There's a huge amount of people on the older gen consoles.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something I'm perhaps a little out of touch of, because just in my mindset, that seemed like the natural progression of things. You move from one generation of console to the next one, and why hasn't that happened? That's
the shortage. The shortage and the
whole shortage.
COVID. The COVID situation meant people weren't uptaking as quickly, even though they have still uptaken more than, like, PlayStation 5 still selling better than they ever did in terms of that stage for the rest of the consoles.
Yeah.
But it's because these new consoles, believe it or not, they're not that much different. You've seen Redfall's announcement today. They're not going to offer 60 FPS on their new release. And they're like, people are spending $500 on $600 on these new consoles, but you can't get 60 FPS on them. Yeah. The jump wasn't as big as it was from 360 to Xbox One or PS3 to PS4. We know what's there. Like, so when you talk about mods, that's like the saving graces. That is something that's worth buying, in my opinion.
But they've
Skyrim done it. Elder Scrolls did it. Bethesda have done it. They resold their whole game and they sold it with the mods. But they did also give it as an upgrade price to all PC players. They only paid like a tenner. Yeah,
I'd be really interested to go through every remaster and look at, what's been offered there, and if there's how many have done discounts, how many have charged full price. I've seen a variety of comments on that. People pointing fingers at people that have done that in the past or not.
Like Last of Us 2, that's got a remaster, and that's already had a remaster.
It had two,
That game, the original game, is 15 years old.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It still holds up,
And I could almost, and that was terrible with Sony. Sony did catch flack for that with their latest pricing of their last remaster. The other thing is, as well, again, we don't know how much change there's going to be because we've seen fuck all.
And I think that's the biggest issue overall, isn't it? And until you see that, you can say whatever you want to say.
But 4 months out, and you haven't got a screenshot,
and that's
a 10-second clip,
and that's a concern, right? Because if originally in January it was going to be a update of the Switch port, and they've changed that now, and seemingly rebuilding it, or to some extent, that's not a lot of time to get it out by August. That's really not, like, I don't know. I'm a bit concerned about that August day, to be honest.
It's great,
but they can't go back on it. They can't change that now.
This is boy,
dude.
Nothing.
They're already on tender hooks. They can't avoid that. They can't. Dude, imagine the rage if they change that August date.
They built the original Ark in 6 months with a team of 40 people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They've now got over 100, and I think across all their studios they've got, and other people. I'm pretty sure they've probably got about 120 to 140 working across their different divisions and games. Not Snail, Wildcard, Grape Shot. I will include Grape Shot with that as well. I'm sure that can be included. The port teams that help them out as well, like Wild Instinct and stuff like that. So that's a moderate sized studio now. We're not talking indie. This is why I don't give them no quarter. Wildcard are not some little indie game anymore. They've made millions upon millions over the years. They are one of the biggest played games out there. There is no excuse anymore for delays like these, or announcements, or half-assed.
Like, afford to do, dude.
You've seen, you watching me before you became a tuber.
Yeah.
You saw how many videos I did where it'd be like the top 5 reasons players are unhappy with Ark, or 5 times Wildcard pissed off the players.
Yeah.
There's been so many times Wildcard have fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah,
when are they going to get better? And why is a remaster going to affect or change that? How do we know this remaster is going to be everything they say when their history shows us they're fucking been awful at times in doing stuff? I just don't buy it. But yeah, the August one,
maybe
4 months to get a game remastered.
Maybe
with 140 people.
Obviously, they've been recruiting a lot of people in recent times before Ark II, and in some realization of this new engine, they've actually pulled team off the Ark II team to focus on this and have a very small team researching the engine until they're ready to start.
It seems like that.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like they've decided to stop almost development of Ark 2 and work almost exclusively on Ark 1, because there's no way they can get it up and running in 4 months what they promised with Scorched Earth and everything else and the mod support. But that's the other thing, the mods are not coming. They're not going to be there day one. I mean, I know they said in their last post they are, but the actual guys that run the stuff have said no.
So that's what's interesting. So that post came out before the crunch where they said no, and then Wildcard came out with a post later on to say no, they are coming out. So who's telling the truth? We don't know.
Natural causes. Go fuck yourself. What are you up in here if you're being like a condescending little prick? If you read the post, you'll see they don't directly say that August 31 is when ASA releases. August 31 is when official shutdown shortly before the ASA launch. I think everyone's taking it to mean it's coming out in August. If you don't, or if it's coming out after that, well, why haven't we got a release date? But don't come to the street and start fucking pigeonholing me, you dickhead. Fuck off.
Back to the mods, and somebody just raised it in the chat. Thank you for the donation. That some are going to be paid for, and there's a whole kettle right there on people having issues with paying for mods. Now, I think the structure they've got isn't that bad actually. What they're proposing is that all modders have the option to put them on for free, but they can choose to, I guess, essentially tick a tick box to say, I want mine to be a paid for mod. Or maybe Wildcard and Overwolf will select and have that conversation to make it a paid mod. And then, 50% of that will go to the modder, 50% of that will go to, say, it reads like Overwolf, but I'm guessing both Wildcard and Overwolf.
So if people don't know, Overwolf are the modding company that are going to bring this happen to mods on console. But the fact is, they don't actually have any mods available on any console game running right now.
Yeah.
There's not a system for it for Overwolf. I can't find a single game that runs Overwolf mods on an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So the lead developer, the lead owner of that company said it's not going to be there at launch. But in Wildcard's most recent post, which was done after that post, said it will be there for launch. But then they did have at the very bottom, some features may be subject to delay or whatever it was, or some things may not run coherently. It's, again, just more bullshit. Like, Wildcard may be under pressure, and I don't know what it's like to feel like, fuck, money is running out for Ark 2. We paid that big, fat slob Vin Diesel way too much money to be part of it. It's not generating as much interest as we thought, or COVID's meant we've had to delay and work on our shit even longer. All valid reasons.
Yeah.
But you got to be more honest. You got to get in front of camera.
I don't know, mate. They couldn't come out and say that. Say, we're running out of money. Give us more.
Why not? No, we'll preach it, or at least dress it up a bit better and say, you know what, Ark 2 is a bigger investment. We're going bigger with it. We're going to make it the best game we can be.
They can't even do that because
we need to level up more. We need to, all the usual buzzwords.
But it's dialing back to this Ark Survival Ascended announcement that it's all just words. And why on earth would you believe any of it until you see anything tangible to work with? I don't know, mate. I agree, and that's probably could be the reason they're running out of money for Ark 2, and then they need that funding. But they can't straight up say
that. I would definitely prefer.
But they can't straight up say that. There's no. Imagine the outcry on that. I don't know.
Or to be honest, because you know what, it does feel like Ark 2 is going to be early access. I mean, not Ark 2, Ark Remastered is going to be an early access title, and we're gonna, we're not having. This is the other thing. Remasters normally come with all the content with the remasters there and then. We're going to be waiting until the middle of 2024, perhaps, to play the last maps. So that's another reason it just doesn't make sense. Give us an early access price. It'd be mad. Can you imagine? Ark's remaster goes into early access for half the price, and then when it's done, it will be $60. Make it $30 for everyone in early access. Slap that early access title on it, and just like I'm pretty sure Jeremy said once, it's early access. We don't have to care, or we don't give a shit about players. Like that, some quote like that. I'm about to get sued so hard.
Oh, too many. I'm worried for you.
But yeah, there was some sort of quote from him once, or I got told that by someone that he's like, it's early access. It's tough. Like if an update's broke or problems, issues. And
there's a lot of pressure on this because of there's so much being promised on still a new engine. There's a good chance of stuff being broken on release, and that release has got to go so smoothly for them.
Well, so I've got a lot of developer friends now. I've covered other games. I've made friends with a lot of other developers, and there is significant problems with that Unreal Engine 5. Like it is buggy as fuck. Like they can't get over 30 FPS for it. Apparently can't get over 30 FPS for Redfall. So what does it matter what engine it is? Because that's on Unreal 4. Like there is significant problems with Unreal 5. That's why I don't think there's a released game yet that's been made with Unreal 5. Like, can anyone point out a game that's actually released that has been made using Unreal 5?
Fortnite's the only one that's done that. And it's probably the best example of a game that's transitioned to Unreal 5. And I'm pretty sure did it free? As a free update, but and that's the other thing is, all right, Jade, well, you come in with just problems, you're complaining. Where's the solutions? Well, I mean, I spoke about solutions, but skins, MTX. I'm loath to say it because I hate companies that do it. It's a really interesting topic. I get it, and I applaud Wildcard. I think for sticking to their guns from the start to say no. One of the very few that have said no, we are never doing microtransactions, and they seem to still be very adamant about it. That being said, the SOTIF community especially seem to be quite vocal about happy to have something like that for SOTIF, a battle pass or a skin system there at the very least.
It doesn't even need to be imagine if you could have your skins on both. Wouldn't that be amazing if you could have your skins for your dinosaurs, maybe some exclusively to SOTF that you could win or you got through ranking up. But imagine being able to take whatever skins across. Their business plan is fucked. I can only assume that maybe in China, which strikes me as weird, microtransactions maybe aren't as big a deal.
Perhaps.
Like they're not allowed as big a deal or a hatch. But that goes against what I feel with mobile because Asia is a big mobile gaming and they're used to battle passes and smaller amounts and stuff like that.
Look at the mobile game and all the transactions there. Microtransactions there. So I don't know.
Much. I think thank you.
I'm guessing that call comes from. I know it's Jesse that's been very, very adamant about microtransactions in the past and said the words himself that have gone on record. We don't want microtransactions. So maybe it's just it's coming from the top and that's they've got their guns there.
The last thing I'll say, well, not last thing. It won't be the last thing, but what's to say this won't happen in 2 years' time again? When Ark 2 comes out, how do we know we're not going to get announcements saying, hey, well, Ark 1's had its run. It didn't maybe hit as much as we wanted it to.
Yeah.
Remaster, we're going to be shutting the servers down.
Yeah.
They did that with Switch, effectively.
It's
like, they didn't support that game. They ended up launching it again. Has Switch... no, I'll get onto that subject else. Don't conflate stuff, Jay. Don't be a dickhead.
But 8 years of running these servers for Ark 1... Is that a long enough time? Is it not?
I don't know. I mean, you can only compare like games. Okay, so it's not fair to really compare something like The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. So look at the competition. The game that is currently played more than Ark on PC is Rust. Rust has been running 9 years.
And they have a wipe system, don't they?
They do, and they also had an upgrade. They had an engine upgrade last year. They added HDR textures and colors to it. They've revamped it a bunch of times, much earlier in their development. They've had skins. Them skins make them a good. I think it's something like 10 million a year. So not as much as people maybe think, but 10 million a year from skins alone. Wildcard. If you added skins, you could easily do the remaster for free. Kids would spend all the money in the world to get cartoony looking dinosaurs on their own game, or ultra shredded dark tech dinosaur skins. I hate the gaming industry. I do. I hate everything associated with battle passes. I hate microtransactions. I hate all the bullshit. I hate it all.
Yeah, I was right there with
one
you.
thing I'd say it'd be okay with. I'd go for skins added to the game, but not on top of a remaster price. Fuck you.
No, yeah, you can't do both. You couldn't do both. And I guess that's the business model of the ages, isn't it? It's one or the other. And that's what it is. And they've opted to go down this route. A pay price, and that's it.
It's admirable in a way, but then you come into this problem where's your sustainability? Where's your chances to make new games if you're only relying on the income of one?
Yeah,
you've got to be able to diversify better, and they've never done that. So from working on Extinction was fucked when it launched. It took ages to fix.
Yeah,
because they all were working on Atlas apparently. And crucial members got shifted onto Atlas.
Yeah.
And then when Atlas flopped and they realized, oh shit, actually, we need to keep generating revenue, they went back to Genesis. And then Atlas suffered because they took off a whole bunch of Atlas to work on Genesis 1. So they're ambitious. I do criticize them. I do unfairly criticize Wildcard at times. And I know I can say stupid shit. They have made some really interesting things happen with their game, with ARK. Like, no game had really had transfers and servers other than like Eve or something really nerdy. It wasn't mainstream like it is.
This is it. Dude, there's a reason why I defend ARK. Because I
love
that. I'm a fanboy. I love ARK. A lot of people here, we all love ARK, and we want the best for it, and we just want to, see it continue for years to come. With the right decisions made. It's all from a passionate place. It really is.
See, this is the other thing as well. I'll be a little personal, right?
Yeah.
Why do I give a fuck? I haven't played ARK properly in like 4 years.
Go on, mate. Yeah.
It must be... Yeah, the last time I really put serious effort into ARK, I played a bit of Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok. What was the last map thing you did? The Katers did?
Fjordur.
Fjordur.
Yeah, you played that for a bit, but you checked out in Gen 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I did like 2 guides in Gen 1. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I can't be fucked. I just cannot be bothered.
Yeah, and that's fair, I think, mate. But...
So the reason is, like, why do I care?
Go on.
It's because I see that ARK has always had the greatest idea, but executed so badly in certain things. I've always wanted them to be better, because then I could be enjoying the game more, and I'd be making 1 billion more videos on it, and Jade, I knew that more people would buy it.
All I'm saying is Primitive Plus, return in a mod on Ark Survival Ascended. That's the one thing you've been saying right from the start.
To do that, stuff like that. But yeah, that's the
anyway,
point.
I know.
It's not really the content. Like, they've had stuff that I thought was interesting. I know there's mods out there. I can play mods, but I'm just so disappointed because they've just not learned. They don't learn. They've made so many mistakes, whether it was fucking announcing the legacy servers just before the game came out, whether it was getting in trouble with Steam for trying to bribe the community to vote for the sheep in the Steam Awards.
Oh, you brought that one up.
Yeah. I'm going deep. I'm going all the old school, all the hits.
Flipping out.
You could just keep listing shit off with the amount of delays they've had, with the updates that come out, and they're always fucked on console. Like, I'm pretty sure on Genesis 2, you still can't complete some of the missions because they're still broken.
You can. I have
cheats on single player or some shit like that.
I think they're Xbox really difficult. To be fair, I can't defend Xbox or PlayStation there. I don't.
And the original Gen 1, that took ages to balance the missions. And even what was you playing recently, Ross? A little game called ARK Explorers Edition. What was it on the Switch? What was the name of that one?
Oh yeah.
And was you able to get all your achievements? Your trophies? Was you able to complete the game?
I can't say that. I even attempted to.
What was the problem, Ross? Tell me why you couldn't complete the game.
With the Switch port?
Yeah, no. The
Dino Discovery thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Missing artifacts that I waited like 3 months to get.
So that game came out 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it still haven't fixed that you can complete the game.
It's fixed now.
Is it fixed now?
It took 3 months later. They
3 months later.
They fixed it.
So why would anyone believe anything Wildcard says in a dry motherfucking post instead of showing us gameplay, clips, a devlog from Jeremy and Jesse sitting there cuddling each other and going, we're going to be okay. We're going to tell them to buy our game again, even though we're shit devs sometimes.
I can only assume there must be a real long hierarchy order of approval, because it does seem to take a long time for things to turn around. Yeah, I don't know. Guessing, no idea, mate. No idea.
I just don't get it. I just don't understand how a company could be so bad at communicating. It's not so bad. Look, when you think about it, you're right. Raz is right. $60 for an 8-year-old game. You're getting remaster, you're getting all the free mods, plus supporting other mods. So we didn't cover that. I didn't answer you back. And I got no problem with mod makers making money.
Yeah.
Give them
we
fucking money.
Over that.
The maps they've made and some of the DLC like Echo.
Exactly, yeah, agreed.
I can't believe she's not going to make mods for it. She should.
Is she not?
But no, she's put on Twitter she's not going to do it.
Wow.
She's not paying any. And I'm like, oh, Echo, you're the one.
Yeah.
You're the guiding light for like what a mod creator can make, which is really good for players that people enjoy. Please let us give you some money for that. Let us help mod makers make money. I've got no problem with that. That's all good and well. They're going to offer free mods as well, but we don't know when it's going to arrive. We don't know if it's going to be August. We don't know if it's going to be September. Who fucking knows when it's going to be there? But it's certainly not going to be there at launch. That's according to their own creator. Yeah.
But back to before that, it was nice to see some honesty finally in the last crunch. And there
was it?
Do you not think so?
I thought it was a bit better. But
it was a bit more upfront about the reasons behind. Obviously, we had this outcry of the crunch prior. They could not have replied to it. I mean, it would have been their funeral if they had.
Why can't they get someone to come? I don't understand why they can't get a dev to do a devlog. Like, I don't have to sit there going, "I'm really sorry."
They need to, mate. That's
just be talk.
So I've been doing a top 10 poll on what people want to see, and that was one of the top 10 things. They want to see a developer live stream of gameplay. And I think it does need to happen. We would need to see it working in game and showcase exactly why it's worth it. Show us why it's worth the money.
It's a weird announcement to do it all so dry with just a blog. It feels like they had to try and prop up maybe the stock price of Snail. If you're going down the HOD route, they had to do something. They weren't ready to show gameplay, but fuck, we've got to make the confidence in the markets appear good. So let's go and say we've got a brand new game. Because that should normally boost your stock price if you announce a new remaster or a new game. I don't know. Like a lot of people ignore half the shit I say because we don't really know.
No, we
can only assume. But when you don't give us information, this is what happens. It can go everywhere because you're not being clear enough.
Got you talking about ARK though, didn't it? Got ARK up there.
Yeah. That's good.
Talking about ARK, right?
Every time I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yes,
How many times have I said to you about maybe joining Monarchy or in the early days?
I know, man.
You didn't want to invite me. And
no way, no. I even told you couldn't join Monarchy. I'm pretty sure now. A lot of promise. Chat. We see you all commenting. I guess questions are coming up. Go for it. Fire away questions. Questions. If we can help answer them, great. It's one of them.
Hang on, I got one. Right, I got Stephen Levercue, who's been dick riding Wildcards in my whole comment section the whole time.
Yes, go.
Right? And the plans changed. It wasn't an official announcement anyway. It was from a personal Twitter account. The Twitter account belonged to the fucking founder of the game. What do you mean it was a personal Twitter account? If the founder of a game says the next upgrade is going to be free, I think we can all think that it's going to be free. Don't be such a fucking dick harder. Dick harder, dick rider. Hard dick rider.
The abbreviated version, the co-owner of Studio Wildcard does work for Wildcard, therefore it probably is something believable.
Yeah, it's not just a random fucking artist that done 2 months intern work. It's the guy that makes the decisions.
I'm gonna start employing myself as Jade's profanity filter interpreter. And,
I know. Do you know what? Yeah. I'm so sorry, Raz. I went and looked over some live streams because it never tells me if they get demonetized.
Oh yeah.
And I just noticed that anytime we did do a survival evolved, yellow. Yeah. Here we go. Loads of questions coming in. Come on.
What will ASA be better? It's a figurative question, mate. Like,
yes, it will be better.
It should be.
No,
it should be.
If it's not,
big issues. If it's not, and that's what's really interesting is in those polls that I put out to people on what do you want from Ark Survival Ascended. A lot of things that people are suggesting are what they've already wrote in those blogs, and I'm like, I don't understand. What's happening
looking at
there?
That blog list, it looks like a wet dream. It's like, oh my god, mods, brilliant, anti-cheat, give me it, crossplay, SOTF, but it's still just a list. It's still just a list. It isn't here yet. We're not getting maps for it until next year. Like, it's just all fucked. It's the worst announcement I think I've ever seen of a game. The worst. I can't think of a single Duke Nukem, something maybe back in the day.
All the news articles, journalists they're all shitting on it.
That's the other thing as well.
Yeah,
people want to the reason I did get a bit iffy in some of my videos. I saw a tweet saying that basically one hate baiter has started it, and I was like, "Are you fucking mad?
It's all Jade.
It's not me,
people."
There was so many people complaining about it. It wasn't just like some mad little insular little audience.
Yeah,
that's the other thing as well. People should realise if you're gonna look at objectively at something, do you want a fanboy like Raz? Or do you want someone who's not in the game, who can look at it from the outside and go, you know what, actually, this is pretty shit. But to be fair, Raz did call it out.
But I did. That's the thing. I did a rant. I called him out. I know. Good grief. I regret that vid. Good grief. But yeah, it's one of them. It's all from a loving place, man. Like I said before. Just wanting the best for Ark, mate, and
we do, and that's it. Don't ever mistake that. That's what I'm saying. Look, I am a mad hate baiter at this point with Wild. I'm definitely not getting a review copy of this game.
I don't think you will, mate. For some reason, I'm not sure.
Although saying that, I've still got my map on the fucking screen right there. Look, it's all part of my decorations. You can see it. It's proudly displayed. I've had that for years now. I enjoyed the little gift box they sent me, so you can still buy me off Wildcards. Still buy me off.
There
no
we
problems.
go. Yeah,
but no, everyone in the industry was saying it was bad. Game journalists, all across, audience peoples, viewers, replies on the Reddit forums. It was all bad. It isn't just like this is just a few of us pissed off that some PvPer got banned, which is normally the biggest one that everyone goes, oh yeah, we should support this. And it's some fucknuts that broke nearly the rules and gets banned. You see the amount of support come up for him, and everyone's like, yes. But God forbid a YouTuber says, you know what, let's try and support the players. Let's not fuck over every player. Let's try and save them some money and maybe not treat them like dickheads. Oh, no, you're a hate baiter. Fuck off.
To be fair, I mean, a lot of people have been on that anyway, so,
No, I was really proud to see New Blitz. Like, I don't know him that well, but... New Blitz,
New Blitz ripped into them as well. Yeah.
Before, but he loves the game. He does, and you love the game as well.
100%. He's brutally honest. And why not? People have their ways of delivering how they feel, and that's cool, man. More questions. There's loads of questions, but I just realising. Will PlayStation players finally play with those who are on Steam or PC players with this? Yes, they are promising that. That's something you should be getting.
One thing with that though.
Go on.
Didn't they just announce that SOTF Windows 10 players can no longer play?
No, that's right.
Players?
They're taking that off this SOTF.
So
when we don't know
that in the future happening.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What can you say? Yeah. Well, what's the biggest risk with Ark 2? I mean, I'd say what's the biggest risk with Ark Survival Ascended more so, mate. Ark 2, I don't think we even need to talk about yet. But right now, I feel like Ark 2 is just a non-topic until next year, mate.
Ark 2, I don't care. Like that's so off now.
It's delayed.
There's no point worrying, talking. Fine, keep showing us concept art because it makes sense now. When you've got you've barely got the game to work on.
Oh, that's something though. I think I've got an idea that they're actually going to try and convince us on reasons as to why Ark 2 will be good by imposing them on this new Unreal 5 version. With things like, because they've promised a new third-person camera angle, which you can opt out of.
We're guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We're guinea pigs. Like Ark 1, a lot of the features we're going to see in the ASA, get it right, Jade, ASA, I'm sure are being tested for Ark 2.
Yeah.
But again, should we be paying $60 to be guinea pigs again? I've done early access for 2 years. It was great because it did have content every month. It was also fucking awful. I don't want to do that again for the next 18 months. Get updates that are 80 gig and then it's broken everyone's servers, or you can't connect, or your bases get wiped. It's like, no, none of that.
Well, I'm going to do the dumb metric thing and say, do you need to? Do you need to buy this Unreal 5 version?
You do if you're an official player. You do. I guess you could carry on just playing the rope-based game. That's the other thing. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, at the end of the day, you vote with your wallets, as everyone keeps saying. But there is a lot more tied to it. It is manipulation. If a lot of your friends are off to play on the next version, you've now got to think about getting the next generation console. So it's not just a $60 game. You're like, there are people that only play Ark, like one game, and now they're being forced to upgrade to a brand new computer system, a console, for $400-500 to play their one game. And that does feel like manipulation a little bit. Xbox won't care because they'll be like, yeah, we want people to upgrade. Yeah. That's the other thing as well we haven't spoke about either.
Go on.
What's happening with... Do you think they said they had partners? They mentioned partners in their last blog post, saying that they've spoken to their partners, we've changed our plans. What if it was Xbox that said, fuck you, Wildcards? What do you mean you're offering Ark 2 for a tenner?
Right.
When we've got it on Games Pass coming. Like, that's a major draw. Yeah. Like, we're putting it on Games Pass. We're expecting people to sign up on Games Pass to try Ark 2.
Yeah, no, I raised
no
that
way
myself.
Can you sell it for a tenner.
How on earth can you charge for something that's already on Game Pass?
So, you know, maybe that wasn't even the fans that got that change.
Possibly, yeah.
It was someone else.
Yeah. No, definitely, mate. Who knows?
But yeah, official, there was still like 12,000 people on official. By my calculation from consoles, that's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
To just go, support.
I can't compare against PlayStation and Xbox though, mate. But good grief, I jumped on PC official recently. I was going to do like a mini documentary, like the state of official. And fair enough, this is post the announcement, so people may have already jumped off since then. But dude, I jumped on several servers, didn't see a soul. It was a wasteland.
They are. Some of them might be dead, but you know what? That's the other thing as well. They're mostly dead. Again, this is the false equivalency, the false positive. They're mostly dead because Wildcard have never fixed cheating properly on the game. They've never done things to open and reinvigorate it. They've only done stupid shit like Conquest that Snail Games wanted. Yeah, like they've not spent enough time not reinvigorate. Coming up with something new and fresh for officials. And so that's why games will naturally dwindle if you don't reinvest in it. And
there's something I put in that top 5 reasons was that perhaps the devs have realised that the foundations of Ark, the way it's been built, they can't beat the cheaters. And this is their way of doing that.
And you know what? And I've heard that before. We all know, and it's something I bitterly complained for years, that all this content being on top of content, maps, dinosaurs, items, yet they never addressed enough of the core problems with Ark. They never revisited and cleaned up code. And now we're being told the only way to clean up code is have a new project. Yeah. It's all just too bitter. It's all too mad. It's all too like... There are things can be more easier, but they shafted everything just a little bit too dry. They should have just said, officials will be up at least until 1 more year, but we're going to reduce them. We're going to be upfront exactly what you'll have at launch with the game, whether mods are going to make it or not. Yeah, we're going to give you a list of the highest price point a mod maker will be able to charge for one of their mods. We're going to show you what the anti-cheat system really is and why it's different from what we've been using. Because I had looked into it and I can't find anything amazingly different that's going to revolutionize the game in terms of cheating. So they're going to have to make proper engine-based things with the game. Yeah. But yeah, they could have done so much better. Even take away the lie. Even if Jeremy had never said it was going to be free, I still think people would be pretty upset and pissed off about it. Because remasters come with everything there in one go. It looks great, brand new gameplay, new models, new assets, everything for that one price.
Yeah.
We're paying one price, but we're not going to get content until next year. We're paying one price, but we're not too sure if we're going to get the fixes we think we're going to get or the improvements we're going to get, because they've got a history of being poor with updates and we've not seen the fucking thing. And
yeah,
the rest of my case,
it is. Therein lies, and I completely agree there. Until we see that footage, I completely understand why people are feeling the way they are. And as Amal pointed out to me, thing is, remasters come out all the time. But the biggest beef that a lot of people have is telling us that it was going to be free to begin with. And I think that's the problem, is you've got different venues, avenues of rage coming from different directions. You've got people annoyed at the free thing. You've got people annoyed at the official server thing. You've got people annoyed at the moving on from old gen. You put them all together and it's a big outcry. Until we see something tangible, I get that attitude won't change.
Malga Maniac, thank you for the $5.
But
is the price too high? No. If you'd give me all that stuff and a bit of gameplay, I could have bought into it. I think most players do want to give you money Wildcard.
Yeah,
because they're fucking idiots. But like, it's just the way you did stuff, and it's just the way you've always done stuff. You've got to change the way you approach the community, and it's not the community manager's fault. I saw some dickhead comments saying, "Oh, the community manager should be this." Listen, dickheads, it's the marketing and PR that come up with these strategies, but they get signed off by the creators of ARK. And there's 3 people, in my opinion, four: Jeremy, Jesse, Doug the Head, and Hai Xing. Or Snail Game CEO. They're the 4 people that make these decisions ultimately. So I'm being cruel and saying, "Oh, PR marketing should be fired." I mean, I can't believe that was the best they could come up with, was that approach. But it's not the community manager's fault. So leave fucking said alone, you dickheads. It's nothing to do with said, the community manager.
Yeah.
This is down to marketing, PR, and the people behind the company. And I don't have no ill will to anyone that works at Wildcard. I think they've made some great stuff. I've heard from other sources that they've been treated like shit over the years, but we'll get into that another time.
Right.
But they are doing a great job, and if they've done the most they can with what they're given in terms of time, resources. But their leaders are fucking awful and always have been.
Yeah, obviously, nothing but love for Wildcards. Somebody's making the wrong decisions. That price point, I'm happy to pay if they offer what they are promising. And
so genuinely though, if they say look, mods aren't going to be there at launch, Scorch isn't going to be there at launch, the cheat system we're working on, are you gonna be
obviously
there to play it?
Obviously I am, of course I am. It's still ARK, it's still ARK on Unreal 5, and I think that's another element, is seeing ARK running on Unreal 5. That's a big thing. That's a huge thing. We haven't got many games running on Unreal 5 out there at the moment, and we're going to get to see that with ARK, with a game we all love, and that alone has got me interested to play it. It really has.
Really want this to work, because I feel like 35 million people have tried ARK, not continuously play it, have tried and played it across Games Pass and bought copies of it and stuff. It is a great game that a lot of people love, but everywhere else sees it from outside, says it's a buggy game with not great communication and some really poor decisions. But I would love it if they change this around. I want them to prove me wrong. I want them to see at launch the mods support system looking amazing, anti-cheat working, and no more meshes. And I can't wait. I want you in 6 months to go, we do a new Survivor, and you're like, Jade, fuck you.
Yeah.
Wildcard delivered, baby.
What's the date, right? I remember this. 6 months.
4 months.
5 months. 4 months time. For the first time on YouTube, I will stick my 2 fingers up on screen, people. That's what I'll do. There you go.
Yeah, you go, fuck. And everyone in chat can say, F you, Jade.
Yeah, yay. Or, obviously, the opposite.
Me, you can at me, you can fucking do what you want. When that all happens, please, I'll be loving it, and I'll be so glad, because even if I don't like the game as much as I used to, I want players that do enjoy it to get the best deal, and that's all I ever care about. I don't give a fuck about content. I don't care about anything else. It's all just about, is the player being treated fairly, and that's what matters.
Yeah. yeah, there we go. I feel like we've closed it there. It feels like
Is anyone else got anything to say?
If you got anything to say, speak now or forever hold your peace. By the way,
I love, you know what? I was looking at your chat when I thanked that last dude for the $5 donation.
sweet.
It's for yours.
If you don't know, I'm saving these. I hope you are. You should do this as well, Jade. I'm saving these as podcasts now. There's a whole podcast section on YouTube now. So these, these Survival Evolved shows will stay in there for you to listen to whenever you want to.
And if we can rein it in a little bit, and if I don't be such a judgmental, harsh prick, should we start them up a bit more regular?
Can we be a bit more regular, Jade? It's been too long since the last one. I think.
Well, honestly, we stopped because we was like, fucking hell, we've only got another half-inch screenshot to talk about, or
it didn't feel content heavy at the time.
I presume we're going to get content shown on the regular basis.
We have to, again, I know I just contradicted myself a bit, but yeah, we're going to get Ark 2 shots, and we should be seeing Unreal 5. If there's only 4 months to go, we have to see Unreal 5 very soon. We have to. So yeah, it's going to happen again.
I guess you know what, you could start getting hyped. You should do that. 5 things I can't wait to see at E3 this year.
Forget that, man. I learned my lesson. I was waiting for it. I was
going to do the 5 reasons you should, and I still might. But then again, do you know what? I'm not really out there to get hate bait views. Like, I got some views in the last few videos ranting about it. But honestly, there's so many other games to play. There are so many other good experiences to be had in gaming now. And I don't want to devote or waste too much energy on shit. That's why I stopped covering Ark, because I was getting too negative with it.
And therein lies. Ark realised that as well. Wildcard have realised that as well. No Ark 2's coming late. They need something out to bridge that gap so people don't deviate too much and get tied into other games. They need to keep that Ark content running, and this is the way they're delivering it in what's possibly a whole new 8-year life cycle. Let's not forget that. The original Ark.
Stay part of the cult. That's it, everyone. You're not allowed to play other games.
Like, Ark 1 has run for 8 years, and I get the doom and gloom, I do, but it does mean there could be a brand new, refreshed 8-year life cycle with this new Ark on Unreal 5 with a lot of promise. But until we see that
the promise sounds amazing, and if they deliver, I'll be happy as fucking Larry. I really will.
Yeah.
But nothing shows me they're going to achieve that. Nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end it there. We'll have a chat about when the next one is. Hopefully next week, maybe the week after. We'll see what happens. But until then, that's Jade. My name's Raasclark. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.